extreme storms, hotter seasons. With a specialized degree in climate, he's pioneering the way we look at climate and how it affects our weather. Now, climate specialist Jeff Baradelli.
In today's climate classroom, Tampa Bay is Florida's largest open water estuary, acting as a habitat for mangroves, salt marshes, and seagrasses. But rapid urbanization has taken a big toll. The bay has lost 90% of its historical oyster coverage, and in the past few years, 30% of its seagrass coverage. I visited Tampa Bay Watch to discuss.
So historically, we've lost a tremendous amount of our seagrass and oyster and other types of habitats around the bay. When we lose those natural ecosystems, we lose the ability to buffer water quality.
Peter Clark is the founder and president of Tampa Bay Watch. For the past 30 years, they've been monitoring and restoring the estuary.
It was very, very polluted 40 years ago, and because of a lot of actions that local governments and the community has made, we've seen a resurgence in seagrass and water quality. But as we look at the last 5 or 6 years, we're also starting to see a decline in water quality, and as that water quality starts to take steps backwards, our coverage of seagrass is also being reduced.
Clark says the issues stem from an increasingly urbanized watershed with considerable nutrient runoff from areas like the Tarpon Outfall Canal and the Piney Point spill in 2021.
We are seeing these widespread macroalgae blooms that we haven't seen since the 80s and the early 90s.
Clark says changes in local policies would help, but Tampa Bay Watch makes headway by using natural solutions.
So we build living shorelines. We install salt marsh. We build the oyster bars out in front of them. And by doing that, that helps to buffer water quality impacts and algae blooms in the bay.
In just one day, an oyster can filter 50 gallons of water. So each year they install hundreds of tons of oyster shells.
By involving the community, they have a stake in its restoration, and long-term, they will be there to ensure that what we've started years ago continue those positive projects into the future as well.